What's up, y'all? We're about to have a very in-depth conversation about something very, very interesting. What's up, y'all? Okay, let's go. What's up, Michi? Okay, so waiting on my guest to come in. There she is. All right, hold on a second. Why can't I hit the button? Hey, Megan, you got a request. I'm trying to click the button, but it's not doing anything. So I guess you have to request first. I can't just click you like it used to be. So as I wait on her, we're going to have a discussion about a question. And that question is, are women getting married just to get divorced? And there's a reason why I'm bringing this up. All right, Megan, you gotta hit the request because for some reason I can't. Usually I'm able to just click the person's face or whatever, but it's not doing it. So there's a divorce rate, and there are people who actually are looking to get married, which are women. And there's a disparaging number that kind of like correlates with the two. Here she is. I want to know if the majority of women are the ones who want to get married. I want to know why is it the majority of women are the ones who want to get married? All right. I hear feedback where you are.
Yeah, I had to, for whatever reason, it's not working on my iPad, so I had to get on my phone.
Oh, okay,
So,
cool.
give me a second to just like situate the phone.
Gotcha,
So,
gotcha.
click off of me or something. Like, make it so you can't see.
You good. Okay, so go ahead and do your thing. So as you guys come on, we're going to have a conversation about why the majority, not all, but the majority of women grow up wanting to get married, right? But with all that being said, why is it that the majority of women are the ones that are ending marriages?
Okay, I'm
So,
ready now.
are you good? You good? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm good.
So, I just because it's been talked about a lot, and I decided to look into it myself, and it's right. Over 70% of divorces are initiated by women. Mm-hmm. So it has me wondering, like, okay, if the majority of women, because men want to get married too, but we can all agree that women want to get married or have the thought process of wanting to get married or have a narrative of being married more than the typical man. So in your opinion, before we get deeper into this, because I want to go really deep, why do you think this is an issue?
So, why do I think that women want to get married? Tell me the first question, or you want me to answer all those questions all at once?
Well, why is it the one demographic of people who seem to want to get married the most are the same demographic of people who are causing the most divorces? Like they'll leave the marriage, but they want to get married.
Okay, so let's go through that. So the first of all, thank you, Aaron, for having me on today. You know, I love what you do, and I love your passion, and thank you so much for that. I don't want to ever just assume. So thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Of course. So the first thing is that women are basically conditioned to believe that you have to be married, right? So because as James Brown said, it's a man's world. Okay. So because it is a man's world, and it is, and that's okay. It's not like it being a man's world is not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with it being a man's world. There are a lot of things that I don't want to do that I feel like it's man shit. Right? Like
right.
I don't want to go to war. I don't want to. I don't want to take out the trash. I mean, I do, but I don't want to. But there's a lot of things. I don't want to learn how to work on cars. Of course, there's a lot of women that work on cars. There's a lot of women that serve in the war. There's a lot of women. But when the drafts, well, before this new thing just got passed, but anyways, but back in the day, when the drafts were done, it was only men. They weren't drafting women, right? And no broad was standing up talking about, oh, it's unfair. We were all like, okay, go ahead, come on, honey. We'll be praying for you, okay? Take care of the kids. You come on back when you get back. Right? Okay. So we have been conditioned to believe that you have to be married in order to have a successful life in general. Right? And to a degree, that is true. To a degree. It is, everybody knows it's much easier to raise children in a 2-parent household than it is in a 1. Everybody knows that, right? That's not a big deal, right? Everybody knows whether it's 2 men, 2 women, 2, whatever. The bottom line is it's easier unless you're in a horrible relationship. But just a basic relationship, it's so much easier, right? It's so much easier to pay bills if you have 2 incomes. It's so much easier. Things are a lot easier. You're not as alone out in the world by yourself. You can it's easier to deal with grief.
Better for the child. Better for the child. Yeah.
Better for the child. I mean, and this goes on and on. Okay. So what has happened is you have raised generations of women who are predisposed to believe that we're in a man's world, and in order for us to have a certain level of comfortability, we have to be married, right? So that's the first thing. Now, the problem is that marriage takes a lot of work.
A lot.
I mean, I'm talking about working on the railroad type, and it's not a rewarding work. It's not a rewarding work. Marriage is not like you go to a job for 40 hours, you get paid. It's not like that. Marriage is you might work 8,000 hours and not get a dime. It's not and what I mean by when I'm saying a dime, I mean you may do stuff for your husband, your children, your mother-in-law, all kind of shit, and nobody even says thank you. Like, it's not a rewarding type of job. It is an ongoing, continuous submission to the vows that you put and da-da-da-da-da-da. It's an ongoing thing. The problem with what we have now is this generation of women have not been taught what to do, how to do, the simplest way to do things. They have not been taught the mandatory things, how to make your life easier in a marriage, how you're gonna have to be. They haven't been taught how to deal with men, how to get them to do what you want. Nothing. It's all about this. Oh yeah, girl. Ooh, get married. And then you get in there and you go, what is this? What have I gotten myself into? Because you don't. 9 times out of 10, not 9 times. Let's say, what's the rate? 60%. So we can say 6 times out of 10, the girl wasn't raised in a 2-parent household. The woman, right? So she doesn't have an example of what a marriage is, the work of a marriage. And if she was in a 2-parent household, that maybe they got divorced. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that is missing by the time a woman gets to the marriage. So when she gets into the marriage, she thought it was going to be easier based on what we have been taught. We've been taught, oh, okay, when you get married, it's going to be easier. Then you end up getting married, you go, oh shit, I could have did this shit by myself. What? Oh, hell no, I want a divorce. Right? So and I'm not saying that because I think marriage is bad. I think marriage is beautiful. I'm engaged, so I'm not in any way saying that. But it is an excessive amount of work, and living with somebody is different than living with them and being married to them.
100% correct.
Yeah,
I've been
even
married
if you've
too.
been living with them for 5 years or whatever. It's different. It's very, very different. When you start talking about, life insurance and bills, and I mean, it's just a different, something comes over you and it just makes things much, much more serious. You don't have as much patience, because it's like, oh, well, I would thought that he would have just knew and he should have just figured this out. And it's like, no, honey, no.
100%.
So that's the end of the live. Are we done?
Oh my God.
Are we finished now?
I mean, you are so correct. Like, and it's like, from a guy's standpoint, when we want to marry you, we want to marry you. And I'm not saying guys are, we cheat or have cheated or something like that inside marriages if we cheated outside of marriages. So I'm not saying we just turn into these angels once we marry you. But the difference, in my opinion, is the woman, like before and after marriages, in a lot of occasions, the woman gets mad that a man isn't changing after the marriage, and a man is getting mad at the woman for changing after the marriage.
Right.
So you got the man mad at her like, yo, why? What is you doing? You wasn't doing all this. Like, or either you're doing less now that we're married, and then a woman is looking at the man like, why aren't you doing husband stuff? And the dude's like, what are you talking about? We've been together before, but now that we're married, you're supposed to do more. And the dude's like, no, I ain't doing more. So both people are like confused because she's doing extra different, weird, off-brand stuff, or either doing less stuff, and the man is doing the same stuff, and they both are like miserable.
Well, yeah, because it's kind of like there are different kinds of car people, right? Mm-hmm. So, like for example, my mother, she drove really nice cars, but it would be like stuff in the car, and I'd be like, Mother, just take this shit out. Like what? Like why do you have stuff? Like just not dirty, but just stuff. Mm-hmm. Like just when you get out the car, take the stuff with you. Mm-hmm. My father was like in his car with like a toothbrush. Mm-hmm. Like it was impeccable, mm-hmm. right? And my father had a classic Mercedes, which is why I have the same, right? So like, and I'm really particular about my car. Like it's covered, it's all, like I'm very, very particular. Mm-hmm. Some people are super excited when they get their car at first. They're like, oh my God, I got my car. I love my car. My car. And then like 3 months, you ain't washed the fucking car. You can't see what color the car is. It's dirty. It's a mess, right? Mm-hmm. But then some people are like, it could be a 1992 SL 500 Mercedes and it's impeccable condition.
Right, yeah.
And somebody with a 2021 car is dirty. Well, it's all about the appreciation that you have for something, and yes, you're super excited about it at first. And then it's like, oh, well, I just used it to go to the grocery store. I don't care. I don't, and so marriage is like that. It's like, people get like super excited and then it just kind of fizzles out after the wedding. It just kind of fizzles out. But that's usually because most of the time when you're wanting to be married, you are excited about that. You're excited about this relationship, excited about dating, excited, you have all this excitement. Like, oh yeah, girl, now we live together. And so then there's that thing. And then oh, girl, he proposed. And so there's that thing. And then there's the next thing is, oh, we're planning for the wedding. And there's that thing. And then there's, oh, where we're going to go on honeymoon. And then there's that thing. And then there's really nothing else
there.
Yeah, it's just kind of like,
yeah, right.
So that's why it is imperative that when you are getting ready to get married and you're married, you have an ongoing goal. Like it's got to be a business, working out together. Let's do, are we going to run a marathon? Are we going to do, you have to always have something to work together towards, because that's really what's going to keep the excitement. Because if you don't have anything that you're working towards, you will lose the appreciation. It will just depreciate, like the 30% once you get off the lot. Unless it is a car of great value, like a classic car, meaning, so what's the difference between a classic car and the cars these days? Classic cars are better cars, stronger engines. They're made out of metal. They're not made out of this fiberglass crap. They hold their value. As a matter of fact, they increase in value the older they get. But the new cars, you can't even change the oil out the damn thing. You got to take it back to the shop. Take it back to the dealer to get your oil changed. You can't do this. You can't do, it's all these bells and whistles. They can put your button on your car, make it stop whenever they want to, all this other stuff, right? You can't get, if you lose your keys, you can't just get somebody to come with a hanger and open it. You got a lot of problems, a lot of problems because you don't have a strong foundation. So in these marriages, people are finding out that their foundation is crap. You don't know this man. You don't know him. You don't married him, you've married her, and you do not know each other, and you don't have a commitment enough to allow each other to grow and expand. Because so let's say you and I get married, right? Okay. So you and I get married, okay, so we know each other, okay, cool. But let's say, I don't know, 3 years from now, you start reading books or something, and I don't know, maybe you start doing yoga or something, or, and you're like, well, you know what? I want to go to India on a trip by myself for a month. And I go, what?
Right.
Hey, please, we live in Atlanta. Let's go get some fried chicken like we've been doing. And let's kick it or whatever. We got these kids and everything. What are you talking about? And you're like, well, no, I that's what I want to do. And I'm like, well, you've changed. Yes, I have. I have changed. So it doesn't mean that the love is gone or that you want a divorce. It's just that you have been on a growth, evolving spiritual journey, which has led you to want to go to India by yourself. Doesn't mean you're going to cheat. Doesn't mean any of these things. And it doesn't mean that you're going to divorce me or whatever. It just means that you have to allow people to expand. Right. Now, if I was smart, I would have been also reading those books with you. Not because I'm trying to be on a spiritual journey, but because I want to understand my man.
Right.
You never let somebody just go on their own stuff. You always have to kind of, you have to kind of trail along just to see, because if you're having experiences, I want to be the person with whom you share those experiences. Yeah. I want you to come to me and say, I was meditating and I thought I saw something or whatever. And then I can say, oh, well, in that book that we were reading, it says that when you begin to meditate, you start seeing things, blah, blah, blah. You don't want to come to me and go, yeah, when I was meditating, I saw something. And I went, oh, nigga, I saw the same thing when I was smoking that blunt.
And that's the biggest issue. Yep. You be on 2 different pages.
2 different pages. 2 different pages, totally. And then it will then force either you to stop your spiritual journey, right? Because it's causing too much conflict. Or it will force me to step further and further away and become more rebellious against whatever it is that you're trying to do. You see what I'm saying? Oh, you want to go to India? Oh, well, nigga, I'm going to the club. Like that, which is so unnecessary. Yeah. But it happens when you're not willing to allow the person to grow and allow yourself also to grow and expand and to evolve. It's not going to stay the same. It can't stay the same. The only thing that is constant in this earth, on this vibration that we're on, is change.
Exactly.
a lot of things are going to change. The woman's going to change. Her body's going to change. The man's going to change. Things change. Mm-hmm. So if you love each other and you have a strong enough foundation, your marriage will increase in value, not decrease.
And that is the thing right there that a lot of people don't understand. I don't think the average person really knows how to increase in value. Like, yeah. we as adults, we're so tired, we're so traumatized, everything makes us tired, everything pisses us off. We're annoyed by work, we're annoyed by our kids, we're annoyed by our mate. The more we find ourselves being annoyed by the things that we actually can't get rid of or don't want to get rid of, the more of a problem we're going to have with those people and things going in the future. You know, we have to learn as adults how to not be annoyed by everything, because I believe in just your perspective being different. You know, the thing that you're annoyed by or thing that you're troubled by isn't the problem. It's about how you perceive that thing. And once you change the way you perceive marriage, you perceive your mate, that is when the person's value is going to change and your value is going to change, because you're a happier person. And with this whole marriage thing, the reason why I think so many women are ending the marriage, going right along with what you're saying, is I think as men, we, one, are okay with a woman's crap, right? If a woman is annoying, if a woman is doing this, we're okay with it, right? We're not just gonna, like, once we marry you, we're really not going anywhere. We're okay with not getting sex or not. We're okay with that. We're not going to just get depressed and get upset because this isn't working. We're just going to be like, all right, whatever. And the difference is between men and women is we're going to go find a hobby. We're going to go play basketball. We're going to go do something extra with our, friends or whoever, a little bit more because our wife is doing this and doing that. We're going to find ways to cope with or deal with whatever has changed that may be negative, right? Mm-hmm. But when it comes to a lot of women, in a lot of cases, your husband is your life. So when things change, you automatically start being like, well, I don't want to do this no more. I'm a victim. He's controlling. I don't know what to do. It always turns into this I don't know what to do type of mindset. And you start flailing around like, I think he's cheating. Instead of being like, it's kind of like, I don't know, getting caught. Like, imagine being inside your house, right? And all of a sudden you look to get outside your house. You open a door and the door's locked. And you're like, why the hell is my own door locked from the inside? And you start pulling on the door. Well, depending on who you are, you're going to start getting frantic. Nothing's happening to you, but the simple fact that you can't walk out of your front door, you start, wait, what's going on? Oh my God, But another person to be like, oh damn, something's wrong with the doorknob, and they'll just, call somebody. But there's some people who start feeling closed in simply because they no longer have control over what they thought they had control of before, and all of a sudden, you feel closed in, boxed in, controlled. And you're like, oh my God, you start getting anxious. And then because a marriage is actually, in a way, like a house that you can't get out of sometimes. Your house may be so comfortable. You got food in the refrigerator or whatever. Everything is great. But the simple fact that you can't leave your house for whatever reason, you start freaking out, right? But at the end of the day, you can get out, but why do you want to get out? Because you went into the marriage with a thought process of wanting to be married, but now that you're in the marriage, you feel trapped, you feel controlled, you feel this, you feel that. And I think that's one of the biggest issues that I see with women. They feel like a certain sense of control is gone because now the man is a leader of the household, or this and that, or he's in control, you know, because a lot of women have been living on their own for so long, right? And then living together, there's a certain amount of, well, I can leave or he can leave. But once you get married, you're like, oh shit, this is how my life is going to be. I can't leave. And then you start getting frantic. And I think that's one of the biggest issues, that I think women don't necessarily know how it is to be on the other side of control. A lot of women, not all, but a lot of women have been raised to be mothers because all they've grown up to see or know or be exposed to is their mother mothering them. Their mom wasn't married. Their mom wasn't in a relationship really. So the only thing they really know how to do is mother, right? And part of motherhood in a roundabout way is control. Do this, do that. Okay. You know, a lot of women, they mother their sisters, they mother their friends, they mother their kinfolks, and they mother their own mother, right? But then you get with a man and you settle down to get married, and you're no longer in this control where you're mothering a person. In a way, he's fathering you instead of you mothering him. You know, if you got a leader, you know, he's like, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this, do that, boom, boom, boom. And you become his helpmate instead of somebody's mother. And now you feel like you have no control. You have no anonymity, and you start to freak out. Just from my perspective as a man.
So you brought up a number of things. So the first thing is being annoyed, and I talk about that in my book. So Stop Lying, chapter 4 is entitled Triggers. It's literally entitled Triggers, and this is the workbook that goes along with it. Okay. You need to get the book because it literally talks about, everybody on here, it literally talks about how you are triggered by things based on them not being the familiar, right? And anything starts triggering you. Somebody honking their horn, the kid spilling milk on the floor. I mean, and you're just like, oh my God, I can't take another thing, right? So if you understand where your triggers are coming from, and what your triggers are, first of all, and where they're coming from, then you'd be much better equipped to have patience even for yourself in your understanding, because you can understand your response, right? So you can be like, okay, I'm about to get pissed off. I can smell it. I can feel it, right? And you can kind of gauge your way through things, because you're 100% right. People just get so annoyed and so irritated and so forth and so on. So you have to know what your triggers are, where they come from, and how you're going to maintain yourself, how you're going to gather yourself, because you already know this, that, and the other. And it is each one of us personal responsibility to handle our own triggers, right? It is not, I get into marriage, it's not my spouse's responsibility to handle my triggers.
Yes.
It is your responsibility to be aware of them, but it is not your responsibility to fix them. Right. It is my responsibility to fix my own triggers, right? And so I talk about that a lot in my book. Of course, I talk about a lot of things in the book, right? Okay. The next thing you said, which I thought was really interesting, is you said, you know, men go out and get hobbies. Well, the problem with that is we can't afford to go get hobbies. And I don't mean financially. I mean, if the woman is cleaning, taking care of the children, taking care of a man, if she's doing all of these wife things, mother things, she doesn't have time to just go pick up a hobby and play golf. She doesn't have that kind of time. And so what is super duper important, because women can't just go pick up, you know, a man can go to work and be like, I'm not coming home, I'm going to the gym. And then she's like, okay, well, that's great, because I got to go pick up this kid from this place, take this kid, pick him up, take him to soccer, go make dinner, got to do all this stuff, and you at the gym. Yeah. Right? So a hobby is not always the answer. The answer more so is a complete understanding of what the roles are and the expectations.
Yes.
From the get. So let's say, for example, if you and I got married, right? I go to the gym too. So I ain't gonna stop going to the gym just because we have kids. That ain't happening. So I'll pick them up Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You got them Tuesday, Thursday. Like, cause I'm not going to just stop living my life. But the problem is that a lot of people completely stop living their lives and then get upset when the other person doesn't stop.
Right, and that is it. A lot of women stop living their lives and men keep living their lives, and the woman starts sitting there with her hands in the hip like, so you're still living your life, I see. And the guy's like, yeah, yep.
Right. So what happens is when a guy continues to live his life, the woman feels completely hijacked. She feels like she was tricked, misused, abused, and you're right, stuck in a house. And let me tell you something, as a person who has claustrophobia, your example is very near and dear to my triggers because I'm claustrophobic. So you got them right. If I open the door, if I try to open the door and the motherfucking door open, you are one. I'm gonna be like, oh, problem. Hello, because I'm busting windows. So I totally understand what you're saying, but let me tell you something. There's a beautiful example. I don't like elevators, but I am more willing to get on an elevator with Danny because I trust Danny. Trust her. And I know that if I begin to panic or if I happen to get stuck or whatever, I'll be stuck with my Danny.
Right.
So it's going to be okay. The problem is that in these relationships, the woman feels stuck by herself.
Yes.
And that is because a couple different reasons. One, she's opened her mouth, but she's just yelling. I try to tell women, don't yell. Now that's coming from me, somebody who yells all the time, but I don't yell at people. I just have a loud voice, right?
Yeah.
So you cannot yell. You cannot try to manipulate. Don't try to manipulate your man. It's not worth it. It's not. Men are so simple and so easy. Sometimes I just wish I had just got married to a dude. My life would be so much easier because men are simple. They feed them, give them some sex, a beer or a cocktail, some good food or some shit, and just let them go. Just let them be. And
leave them alone. Yeah, leave them alone for a minute. Yep. Yeah,
leave them alone. All you gotta do is say, okay, here's the deal. Because I have a number of clients that are married women. Like most of my clients are married women, 2 men. And I tell them, you're making your life very hard unnecessarily because you expect him to understand, but he can't understand because for his whole life, he's been doing the same thing. Your life has changed because you have birthed these children through your birth canal. You have, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it, and I don't mean any harm by saying this, but I'm going to say it. Because you have actually birthed and created a being through your body, there is a different type of obligation that a woman has to children. It's just that's just what it is. I'm not saying that fathers are not needed or what. I love men. We need you. Please don't go. That's not what I'm saying. But the truth of the matter is that women feel a obligation. That's why men can leave and a woman has 3 kids by 3 different dudes, and you ain't got none of them. Like what? Like how is that? And so with that being said, women are like, my life has stopped because I have a commitment, a lifelong commitment to this human that I have brought into this earth. And you, who are half of this human, have just gone off to go play basketball. So the problem is that when that happens, women don't talk.
Yeah.
They yell, they scream, they panic, they get frantic when it's a very simple conversation. Aaron, I need this, and this from you. Here's the
That's it.
this. I need
Yep.
I need you to on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I will be completely in charge of the children. Can you take care of dinner? I don't care if you barbecue. I don't care what you do. Whatever it is that you do, because Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday, blah, blah, you just have to be very, very specific. You can't yell, you can't scream, because men turn that off. When you start yelling and screaming, they turn it off. They don't listen. They don't hear a word you say. So
Or go get another hobby.
Yeah, it just sounds like you literally become their mother. And
Exactly.
what happens is women hate that. They hate being your mother. They hate it. They absolutely, believe it or not, women do not like being a man's mother. It's like having another child. I'm telling you.
But if I'm not a woman, but it seems like they are so used to being a mother, they enjoy it.
It's
Do you think they get mad when somebody doesn't listen to them being a mother?
No, this is what it is. I'm telling you what it is. The reason why it seems like women enjoy this motherly thing, it's because women have adopted the attitude, I have to do it myself.
Right. So it's like they enjoy doing it themselves, but they get mad when somebody else doesn't do it like them.
But they don't want to. They don't see, women are not very good delegators. They're not very good delegators. Yeah. So then we catch an attitude when we have to do it ourselves. We want the help, but we don't delegate. We don't say, Aaron, I need you to do this Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. What we do is we say, well, shit, he sees me working. Why he didn't do? He see us. I don't understand why he can't. Why he don't see it? He don't see it.
And you know what we're thinking? The things that you're doing, because a lot of times y'all would push us out of the way because you feel like you can do it better. I'll just do it myself. And we get to the point where we just get out of the way and be like, oh, okay, so that gives me more time to go play basketball. And now you're resenting me, just like you said, you see me doing all this stuff. But as men, we're like, well, it seems like you like it. Right. Like I said, it seems like women like controlling and mothering and telling people what to do. We just get out of the way and let you do it. I'm
going to tell you right now, they don't. We do not. I'll give you a good example.
But when we take over, they fight us.
Well, because by the time you take over, it's out of anger, not out of love. Now, remember the house, the scenario that you brought up with the house, right? Yeah. So if I'm in the house, and you know that I don't like to be stuck. So I'm going to get frantic because I'm claustrophobic. I don't like it.
Right.
If you come towards me, get out the way, man. That's going to make it worse. That doesn't make it better. But if you come towards me and say, baby, you know I ain't going to let nothing happen to you. Just move over. I'll open the door, or I'll go around the back and open it from the front or whatever. Just calm down. I got it. See, that's why men are having a hard time with women submitting. They're not submitting women are not submitting as we should, because we're not being talked to the way we need to be talked to. The man has to calm us down. We're not going to calm ourselves down. We're already upset. I'm already upset. Right? So if you want a woman to, if men want to be the leaders, a leader it's not handed to him. You must lead in order to be exalted to that position, right? So a woman is going to. I used to date this one guy, and he was from France, and I remember we were dating. We were like boyfriend and girlfriend, right? Okay. And one time we were out to eat or whatever, and I reached for the check. And I saw an anger, I mean, it was bad. Yeah. He was like, what are you doing?
I would be like the same, like, because that's disrespect. Like, the hell are you doing?
But we had been we were dating, so he had been paying. So I'm like, okay, I'll pay. Like, it's not a big deal. We've been dating for months. He was beyond angry. He was like, don't you ever touch the check. I said, well, this must be some French shit because, hold on, nigga. Like, just watch it. Talk. You ain't talking to me like nobody needed me. I had to back all the way up because I was like, oh, this is man shit. This is dude stuff, right?
Yeah.
Now, he didn't say it to me as if he was trying to take away my queenship or femininity or whatever, but he was saying, these are the rules.
These are the rules.
And he was being very, very clear. So now I know the rules. You see what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, he was trying to be demanding or commanding or controlling or any of those words. This is how he does it. And I will submit to that because he's been very clear, right? Now, that one little incident literally just kind of sprinkled into the rest of I just knew not to do other things either. Like I would never touch the door. Like after that,
wait, Megan.
If I'm standing out there in the cold, I would stand in the cold before I touch the door. I would not touch the door. He has to open it because it just.
Are women okay with our rules though? Because I think that's one of the issues. Also, Mom taught a lot of y'all not to trust no man, and when a man starts instilling rules, you be like, yo, that's the rule, don't do this. And you like, don't tell me what to do. What about that part?
But the rule, okay, so here's the thing. Submission comes from safety. If I feel safe, I will obey you.
Gotcha.
But if I don't feel safe, you just run in your fucking mouth. You just talk. You just swinging your weight around, and I can't have that. See, that's the difference. The difference is if I can trust that I will be taken care of, and I don't mean, it doesn't necessarily mean financially. It just means
safety.
In general.
Safety.
It just means safety.
Right.
If I can trust that you can handle me, the safety of our children, this relationship, you ain't gonna let me be out there in the wild and all that, then I will submit. Okay. But if I see if I see that you can't handle even your own commitments, like going to work, paying your bills, taking care of your body, taking care of your health, if I see that you can't even handle you, right, it's going to be very complicated to make me believe that you can also handle me. Yeah. It's better to just say, you know what, I'll do it myself because I don't trust you. I don't believe in you. I don't see it. And it's because over and over and over and over again, you've either let me down or you let yourself down. Submission comes from safety and trust. Fact. It's not just about I respect you as a man. I submit to my fiance who's a female. So it's not about that. It's safety and trust. If men would go back to the safety and trust, they would then be given off right what is due. Right. Respect is due. You see what I'm saying? Right. So now for me, I give respect just on GP until you lose it. Now, when you lose it, you're never getting it back. Okay. Ain't no back and forth for me because I don't believe in being stuck under any circumstance. I'll get a brick. I'm breaking through this house. Like that's how, right? Yeah. So, but the situation with the women and the men is women are yelling and not talking, and you have to write things down. Write it down, baby. This is what, and make it short. Men don't need all this background shit. They don't care. Just make it short. You know what, babe? I've written down everything this week. You probably, weren't noticing or whatever. I think that's great. But I would like to have access to your calendar to see what appointments you have so that I can slide in there, certain things that I need. I'm going to give you a grocery list every Thursday. I need you to go to the grocery store. I'm just going to send it via text message. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the same thing you get every week. We're going to always need water. We're going to always need milk. We're going to always need blah, blah, blah. Just be very simple for what you need. And then that way it will alleviate all the pressures of being a mom and a wife and a this and a that. We as women actually have to slot out some time for me time. Men don't have to do that because you just go to the gym.
let me add something else to that. The fact that women don't ever slot out me time, that's the important part, because like I was saying earlier, we'll just go start playing basketball. We'll take up a hobby in a minute. So we slot out me time. So sometimes the fact that you don't slot out me time and that I am slotting out me time, the contrast between me being happy, keyword happy, because I've slotted out me time and you haven't it's not that you don't have me time, it's that you haven't negotiated or slotted out me time where you can be happy too. And the contrast between me being happy and you being overwhelmed with the, because you're like, I'll do it, I'll figure it out on my own, or either don't tell me what you need, like you're saying, next thing you know, the woman is just walking around in a way envious of the man.
Yes.
And you start resenting us because you envy us, because you're like, I got to do all this. No, you don't. You won't get out of the way, so I'll do it. And I just got to the point where I'll just let you do what you do. Because as men, we're not going to ask twice. We're just going to go do something else. We want to help, but if you don't want us to help, we're just going to do something else. So sometimes women want us to fight for them in different sections of your life. It's not just like, oh, I'm in a pouring down rain, like, oh, I want you back. It's not, that's a fight for you too. But inside of the marriage, you want us to fight for you, which is fight with you, fighting for you type of thing. And we don't have it. It's not in our makeup to fight with a woman to do something. So if you want to wash the dishes and cook and take care of the kids and do all that, you want us to fight, be like, babe, no. I'm not chasing you around the house to do a chore. If you're not going to let up on a chore, oh, well, you're just going to be this maid that you don't want to be. But I tried, and I'm going to go play basketball. And you be like, see, this is what I'm talking about. He don't care nothing about me, but he tried 80 times. But I'm not going to try 81 times. I'm out. I'm going to go live my life, just a section of making me happy. And then this is what happens. Let me come home and I'm on the phone like, you crazy. And then you look around like, what got you so happy? And you just like, oh, I was just playing basketball. With who? With my friends. Who else was there? And the dude is like, we're playing basketball because you are envious as the wife or whatever of me taking me time and you not taking me time, but you can take me time, but you don't want to let off the gas because the addiction to being in control of everything, i.e. being just mothering everybody, where you get to the point when you're in your marriage where you don't know how to let off the gas and slot out me time. And one last thing, the biggest thing that you said that I actually talked about in my coaching group last night is negotiation. You didn't say the word negotiation, but writing things down and saying, baby, I got everything Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Can you do the other? That's called negotiation. Like as men, we know how to negotiate. Say me and my woman, we both went to work, right? And I want some ass, right? And you're like, no, I'm tired. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to negotiate. Well, can you kind of like just roll over and let me just do this? Can you give me some head? Can you just da-da-da-da-da? Or, you know what I'm saying? And then you might be like, oh, okay. And I'm happy because I negotiated what I didn't get the booty, but I got a nut and I negotiated. But with a woman, if a woman is like, hey, can we do this? And I'm like, I don't have time because I got all this other stuff. You're going to be like, I'm so tired of this. Instead of being like, okay, so if we can't do this, can we do this? And next thing you know, the negotiation will literally save an entire marriage. But women don't know how to negotiate. It's either everything or nothing. And if it's nothing, I want a divorce.
Yeah. Yeah. But these kind of things have to, you know, you would hope that people would have this understanding before they get married. But if they don't, that's why you have people like ourselves who do therapy, who, you know, who give therapy, who give counseling and so forth and so on, to help people understand how to negotiate, that it doesn't have to be all or nothing. The bottom line is that once a man has married you, he doesn't want to have to fight for you anymore. There's no more chasing after that. The chasing has stopped.
But y'all want us to chase still.
Yeah. So, and I think it's not, I can't, I mean, obviously I'm not trying to speak for every woman, of course not, but I don't know if it's so much that we want to still be chased. I think that women want to be understood once life has completely changed, right? But again, if the life has changed so much for the woman, but really hasn't changed that much for the man doesn't really understand that there's been a lot of change. You know, he's just kind of like,
because we don't feel it.
Kids. Yeah, kids.
We don't feel the change.
Yeah. So
you're so right.
It is our responsibility to help you to understand what has changed in my life. You know, but again, I just want to point this out. Women, you need to already be doing something before you guys get married. So, for example, if I go to the gym now before I get married, I ain't stopping just because I got married. And then that way, Aaron will understand, okay, well, kids, no kids, married, no man, Megan's going to go to the gym. It is important that you put yourself first, whether you're married or not, before all this stuff gets out of hand, because then that way you've already carved out me time before y'all even got married, and he already understands.
The problem is, Megan, she's never put herself first since she was 9 years old. Since she was 7 years old, she's been performing for her mother's love. She's been performing
or her father's love. Yeah.
For her father's love, because she's learned from an early age that if I do chores for my parents, they will give me more attention, because a lot of kids, especially if they have siblings, one of the siblings gets more attention than the other one. So the child that doesn't get the attention starts doing chores, and they start doing this, and they start dressing the other sibling.
Or they start doing negative things.
Right. So what ends up happening is once they're an adult, they still have these negative ways of coping or doing things. So they just do chores all the time. And since you're married, see, when you're doing chores as a single woman, right? Not speaking for women, you're okay. You're doing this, doing that. But once you get in a marriage and you can't turn this chore thing off, and you're still doing chores, and we're not doing chores, because since we were kids, our sister or our mother did our chores. We was able to go outside. Mom did our chores. Our sister did our chores. So we didn't even do chores when we were a kid. We probably did one chore: take trash out, wash dishes one time a week. But all the women in the household did the majority of the chores. So as an adult, we're going to go play basketball because we're not used to doing chores. Or so next thing you know, you're doing all the chores, we're doing none of the chores. And like I said, we try to take some of the chores out, but you think we're going to do the chores wrong. We're not going to. You ever seen somebody say, yo, I need to wash the dishes because you're not going to wash the dishes correctly? Right. It's little stuff like that. Next thing you know, be like, oh, okay, I'm going to go play basketball. And now she hates us because we went, and now we're having fun while you're doing chores. But I got to start my coaching class. But we got to do this. We got to do a part 2 of this. Ooh, boy, it's so much.
We got to, man. You guys get my book, stoplinebook.com, stoplinebook.com. I love you, Aaron. Thank you so much for all the work that you're doing to help these couples out. You know, you got my number. Just call me. You know, I'm ready. I'm always ready. I stay ready.
I hear you.
And listen, you recorded this, right? You can save this live.
I'm gonna save it.
Okay, save it, Aaron, and send it to me so I can put it on mine, because we got to get this word out. Because we got to get your page back up anyway. It took your numbers down. Did you get your new page back?
Nope, not yet. Still working on it. But yeah, everybody on here,
All right,
make
well,
sure to.
we sending love and light. We send love. Y'all send love and light for Aaron to get his regular page back. He had 100,000 people on his page. I mean, this is starting to just get ridiculous.
Everybody who follows me, make sure to follow Megan. Everybody who follows Megan, make sure to follow me. We're gonna do more lives because this woman is amazing, like
No, thanks,
freaking
Aaron.
amazing.
So are you, man. I love you so much, brother.
Love you
Okay,
too.
have a good coaching class. Bye,
All right,
everybody. Have a good night.
bye bye.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, Megan is freaking amazing, and I wanna do this for all of you who are on here. Some of you guys don't know me or whatever. I have a women's coaching group. I want to do this. If you can do this fast enough, send me a DM and say, I want to be in the coaching class tonight. Right now, I can't promise everybody because we start in 5 minutes. Send me a DM and say, I want to be in a coaching class tonight. Send me a DM and say, I want to be in a coaching class tonight. Say it again. Send me a DM and say, I want to be in a coaching class tonight. I'll send you the link to the coaching class and you'll be able to see what I do in my coaching class for free. It'll just be for one night. But yeah, because a lot of you are just coming from Megan's page and you guys don't know me. So this will give me an opportunity to spend more time with you. So send me a DM and just say, I want to be in tonight's coaching class. And I'll do what I can because there's a whole lot of people. I may not be able to do it, but send me a DM and say, I want to be in tonight's coaching class. I'll send you the link, jump on, and we'll hang out a little bit more. So I'll stay on here while you guys do that, and I'll get everything ready. But I have a coaching class that starts in 3 minutes. And yeah, if you guys want to come in and join, I would love to have you. All right, so I'm hitting everybody back right now. Now, like I said, some of you guys I ain't gonna be able to get to, but I'll try to get to everybody. So I'm doing it now. Send me a DM saying I want to be a part of tonight's coaching class. I'm hitting everybody back right now. Send me a DM saying I want to be a part of tonight's coaching class. We start class in 2 minutes. Boom. All right. All right. So for everybody else, y'all have a good rest of your evening. I'm going to come back live after the coaching class tonight. So I'm going to go live again. All right. So just making sure nobody else wants to join my coaching class. I'm about to get off in 2 minutes. So just checking. Oh, it's a couple more people. Okay. Had to refresh. You want to join my coaching class? Say, I want to be a part of tonight's coaching class. And you got to do it quickly. All right, you got 1 more minute to send me a DM saying you want to be a part of tonight's coaching class, and you'll be able to get an opportunity to get to know who I actually am, because a lot of you came from Megan's class. I mean, Megan's live. So let's go. Nobody else. Okay, so like I said, I might go live again after the class is over, but I will talk to you guys later, and thank you guys for joining.